I'm gonna worry.
Minecraft is
It's a good game.
it's nice.
Wayne here hates it though, so.
I don't hate it. I just don't like it.
Well, yeah, which means everyone else in the world loves it, or at least likes it.
You mean like the Xbox One? Because I like it, everyone else in the world.
You love it, and everyone else that I know.
I don't know how you could love it right now because I'm currently just going.
It's got the exact same capabilities of the PS4 plus all this other stuff.
You keep going back to the fact that it has all this processing power and stuff, and that's like all you keep trying to alliterate.
What do you mean? It's the exact. It isn't any different than the PS4.
Yeah, apart from the
Except for the fact that
PS4
it's
is like
better.
100% cheaper.
You mean $100 cheaper?
Yeah.
Except for the fact that this can also, one, it's gonna have a shit ton of exclusives that PS4 isn't gonna have.
Well, PS4 has a lot of exclusives as well.
Oh, really? They have like 4. What, they have Metal Gear
Did you
Solid.
see
They have, fucking
that game I
Infamous.
showed you today?
They have Infamous. Which game?
I don't matter. You know, forget it.
Tom Clancy?
I mean,
Tom
the
Clancy is
PS4. I think this is the PS4 is looking quite good at the moment. I mean, the entire conference, it just completely smashed Microsoft, but
That's great.
again,
They
I'm
did a
undecided.
smear campaign against Microsoft because that's always healthy, right?
No, they didn't do a smear campaign. They released their console and it just absolutely stomped them into the ground.
That's an opinion.
The opinion that pretty much everyone else in the gaming world
Yeah,
shares.
I mean, take
anybody
take
with
a
a
look.
brain
No,
actually has...
trust me, dude. If you go to like these places like Reddit, Imgur, any of these internet sites, all
the
of them
internet,
right now.
yeah, the internet. The internet. The
Which
internet,
is pretty
made up
much
of
the
fucking
bulk
idiots.
of the gaming community.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it really isn't.
Okay,
A lot
so
of
the
gaming
bulk of the
community
gaming
is like
community
40.
is the hard-working construction worker.
Actually, a huge amount of the gaming community is like 30 and 40. Which
Do
isn't
they
the
do they have
internet.
as much of an influence on the video game
And
industry
they have way
as...
more money. That's the point, is they have way more influence because they actually have money, whereas college students don't have any money to spend on games. So they're going to fucking cater to the people who actually have money.
The thing is, right, is that they do have money to spend on games because they're their mass audience. Young people tend to be the people who will play games. If you haven't noticed that when you're on Xbox Live, then it's just a slew of people who are just all around the same age as us, between 18 to 25. They're in
those are the people
college
who
or
talk.
just starting a job.
That's
you
just
know.
the people who talk. So just because the 40-year-olds don't feel like they need to share their thoughts with
I mean, I'm not saying
everyone else-
there's no 40-year-olds, but if you're
There's
honestly trying to argue that the older gaming audience, there's more of the older gaming audience than there is
No.
of the people who are roughly around our age.
I'm
I
saying
mean-
it's actually about even, and most people don't
I
realize that.
I don't say it's about even at all. I really do not.
It is, though.
No,
It
when it comes to like Xbox stuff, you like if you want a game which adults play and stuff. I mean, I play a game called Worm now and again. Now, the
Worms?
other day I was playing no, not Worms, Worm, W-U-R-M.
Oh.
And like I was just talking to a bunch of people, and it's like, talk to people, and it's like you'll understand. You go, all right, so yeah, my name's Will. I'm actually from England. You know, I'm 21, and I work in a shop. Their things are like, oh, I'm 46. I live in Denmark, and I was a carpenter, but now I'm such and such. That's the type of game. That's the game which people play. But, it's like they're catering to the young audience, to the audience which we are.
The
I cannot
PS4
honestly...
might sell better with our audience, but I'm telling you, the Microsoft's going to sell better overall because people like, I know this is going to sound weird, but people like my mom might end up buying a 360. Not a 360, an Xbox One. A shit ton of them might end up buying it for TV and whatnot. To have a Blu-ray player, to have all this stuff that
If they
Xbox can
wanted a
now
Blu-ray
do.
player, they would have bought PS3.
No,
Yeah, I
because
had a
they don't
Blu-ray-
necessarily...
Blu-ray.
No, because they didn't necessarily want one at the time, but now that Blu-ray is getting bigger...
You see, the
And
thing is, you
Xbox
come up
can
with
do
this
all
really,
this other-
really elaborate thing, right? When it's clear, it's like clear by a landslide that the
But
majority of the
internet! No, the internet. which people like 40-year-olds and people like my mother and people like them are not on the internet. You know why? Did you realize that the Wii, who none of the gamers like because it doesn't have any real fucking games on it, is actually
It's very
better, has
popular
sold
with
more
families.
consoles.
But you know
Wii
what? You
has
want to know
sold
why
more
that?
consoles than-
You want to know why that is? It's because it's the cheapest. It's got a lot of kids games in it, and a lot of kids want to play Mario and stuff like that. Now, that's very popular with families.
The point is the Wii also does more
that's
than
the
just
thing.
that.
Hence the reason when we're watching E3 and stuff like that, we don't really put too much emphasis on the Wii because we know we're going to expect probably another Zelda or some shit like that.
The point is that the Wii also has multiple capabilities, which is what
The Wii
Microsoft's
does.
switching to.
I honestly do not understand how you can possibly hold the opinion that there are about equal numbers of older gamers who are going to buy the Xbox One simply because it's got like a Blu-ray player or something.
No, just because of that. Because how many friggin' older gamers do you think are into fantasy
I think there's a
football?
lot of older gamers, but I think it's not as near as the amount of gamers who are, say, our age. Nowhere
It's just
close.
because you don't see them. They aren't.
And the reason I don't see them is because there's not enough of them to talk about.
No, they're just
I
not on the
see them a
internet.
lot. I mean, I know there's a lot because I know they sell quite well. Some of the stuff. However, I honestly do not think that I'm just lost for words at how you could possibly think that.
Well,
Welcome
when
to
the
my world.
Xbox sells more than the PS4, you'll see.
All right, remember this because we will see if the Xbox is as popular as everyone says it is.
You mean
Well, you see,
as,
the thing
as
with
I
the
say it's
Xbox
going
Xbox-
to?
is that
Sorry.
it's had market domination for so long. A lot of people don't want to lose their like gamer scores and their
I'm
like.
telling you that the Xbox One is going to vastly outsell the PS4. I'm predicting it right now, and you can hold me to it if you want.
Okie dokie. I mean, again, I've not made my mind up about the console I want. I mean, right now I like the look of the PlayStation 4 a lot. But, again, hell, I might end up getting both, but it's money,
I'm
isn't it?
probably going to get both at some point, but I know the Xbox One is I'm going to get first way before I get a PS4. Unless I, like, hit the fucking lottery. In which case I'll be buying a PC first.
And that's where I chime in. By the way, we got the
PC
representative.
Master Race?
We have
Yeah.
shut the fuck up. We have the representative for the Xbox, Microsoft, Gawain, and PlayStation 3, and everyone who's against the Xbox over here. Well, I'm sitting over here just thinking in my head, oh, consoles, that's cute. BRB, PC time.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, I know PCs are good, but it's the one thing which has been overlooked. You know, it's always overlooked. All the
What,
time.
PCs?
Yeah, PCs are overlooked quite a lot.
Of course they
I mean,
are.
you see all these arguments between Xbox and PlayStation, but you rarely hear a argument where someone goes, "Oh yeah, PC versus Xbox." I mean,
I don't know, they're
Xbox
getting
is nowhere
bigger.
close to PC. I mean,
Well, of course
neither is
not.
PlayStation, simply because like it's not just a gaming console. Though that's the thing.
Well, that's the
You
whole
do.
point about...
You do
and see,
everything.
now you realize it. And now you see why Xbox is going to win. Because
I don't-
Xbox is
I
no
really-
longer just a gaming console. Xbox is a TV console. Xbox is an internet console. Xbox can be your new home computer.
It's
basically.
I wanna
not
chime
go-
in.
it's no. I'm going to
Can I
say
chime in?
Xbox
Excuse
One
me,
is.
ladies?
I'm going to go on record. No, I'm definitely going to go on record
ladies.
Hold on, no, he's
Say-
going on record, so I'm interested.
right
Let me
now.
see what-
As saying, "Oh Christ, really?"
Well, I got a thought after that.
Hold on,
Anyway,
are you going on
right,
record?
I'm not going to. I'm going to say this: is that the PlayStation? No, sorry, the Xbox One is definitely not going to be a challenge for the PC.
No, not for the
Ah.
PC. No, I'm not saying it's
No,
going to challenge the
at all.
PC. They're in a
Definitely.
totally different area, but the whole point is the PC beats gaming consoles because it can do multiple things. So now, Xbox
and
is no
you can just-
longer a
you see, the
gaming
thing is-
console, it is an entertainment console.
Yeah, but you see, that's the thing. I buy my consoles for games, you know, and
Can
that's
I
why I want a
chime in
gaming
now?
console.
The Xbox One will fail as a game console because it is not designed for gaming. It's designed for TV and movies and
No,
sports. Yes,
oh my god,
Gwen.
it's still designed
Gwen,
for...
Gwen, shut up. Listen to what you said. You said it's going to excel for TV on that. You are saying it's going to be good for TV. I'm saying it's not going to be good for games because there's literally so little focus on games. It is not a game console anymore, which is why it will fail as a game console.
Entertainment console, which still includes games. One thing that PS4 doesn't have, and they haven't even bothered to try and
it's not
this,
primarily a game console anymore, which means
is
it's
the Xbox Live servers.
Basically, what they're trying to do is they're just trying to...
Game developers have access to the Xbox Live processing power, meaning that in games like Skyrim, they can actually have the entire world always running at like a bare bones level when you're in another part of the world. Means fast travel, instantaneous. It means that basically as time goes on everywhere in the world, not just where you are and where you can see.
But you have to be online always. Or at least once a day. Which people over, like... I actually read something, like...
Who doesn't have internet now? Who on earth doesn't have...
stationed overseas can't really have internet connection?
Yeah, they do.
Well,
overseas. And how many of them overseas are still playing video games all the time?
I'm simply saying that although the Xbox One is going to be good for quite a lot of things, I mean, at the current moment in time, when I'm looking at E3, say, because, you know, I'm a gamer, I'm interested in playing video games, so I'm watching E3. Now, the PlayStation has done nothing but advertise its gaming capabilities. Now, I'm not saying the Xbox hasn't, but the Xbox seems to have less of a focus on that and more of just a blur of everything.
Right, because
like, I don't want one console for everything. I mean,
that's the whole point. Why would you want 4 different consoles?
That's not the point. That's not the point of a video game console.
Okay, so you spend $400 on your PS4, and then you spend $200 on your TiVo, and then you spend, your internet would be, and then you can do things like Skype on your Xbox console while you're playing games instead of having your computer up while you're Skyping. You can, instead of having to have your computer on there, which not everyone can afford both a gaming console and a computer, and not everybody actually needs a PC because they use their work PCs. Instead of having sorry, I'm getting distracted in the game. Instead of having your console and your Skype running at the same time, you just have this one thing running.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you know, again, right now, it's like I'm leaning more towards PlayStation 4. However, I'm just thinking about upgrading my computer. Just taking all the money I'm going to spend on the console and just upgrading my computer.
That's the wisest option.
I've really been kind of thinking about that myself.
It's just
because, you know, what is a PC? I've got all my entertainment on it, right?
I've got like the next Xbox is trying to be.
You know, it's like, no, you see, the thing is that I can...
It's not trying to be a
anything.
PC.
I can get anything on it I want. I can get any game I want, and I can also have access to random bits of information everywhere.
You can't always get access to any game you want.
You have a much higher chance to be getting any game on the PC than, say, an Xbox. You can't mod games as easy.
That's the whole point of like Xbox and PlayStation exclusives, is you're never going to see Xbox and PlayStation exclusives on the PC.
Yeah, well, you see, the thing is, it's made for Microsoft.
PC has exclusives too, but they don't push that as much.
They don't push it as much simply because they don't need to. Because everyone knows that it's the best thing for playing shit on.
The problem is that it's also way more expensive.
It's way more expensive, and you need to know your beans to do it. So
exactly, which the common person doesn't want to take all that shit fucking time.
But the smart people will go through that because they know that's the better option in the long run. And you love to say the smart people love to do this.
Well, exactly. And, you know, I'm still saying it's never going to replace PC, and I'm never going to say it's better than PC, although it's simpler. It's simpler, and when you just want to just play a game, I turn on my Xbox.
You know, I'm enjoying this debate,
actually. Different things.
I'm recording it, by the way.
Seriously, I love debating. I honestly should be a fucking lawyer, except for the fact that I hate laws. Most laws piss me off.
Well, you two feel free to duke it out for as long as you want.
Oh, you son of a bitch! How'd you? Sorry, not that I was in a
He's
fight.
playing Halo, folks.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, having this fight in the
to
middle
be
of
honest,
Halo.
though, I mean, I've not made up my mind, and I'm not being a fanboy of PlayStation because, to be honest, I was gonna buy the PlayStation 3, and then I looked at the things between PlayStation and Xbox and made an informed choice to pick Xbox because obviously I was quite young at the time and I had no idea how to compute.
I got my Xbox first, but I got my PS3 pretty soon afterwards. I think I got my PS3 like really soon after the Slims came out. Oh fucker, Will! If you just got him just a minute sooner, I would have had my railgun. Oh well. I should have warned you I was getting a railgun near where you
Back
were.
to the debate. Recording this.
Jesus, hold on, Mike. Fucking like
Oh.
a slave driver. I want my railgun. Okay, now I got my railgun. Now I can think. Yeah. Wow.
I
and
mean,
somebody else killed.
I'm in no way a fan of saying, like, say, my PlayStation is better. But at the current moment in time, when I'm looking at video games, it just seems that I'm getting more from PlayStation, especially considering it just dropped all that stuff on Xbox. I mean, it's cheaper, no DRM, you've got the FIFA playing video.
DRM? Why exactly are you worried about DRM?
I just don't like the entire idea of it at all.
Why? Okay.
Because I just don't.
Here's some food for thought. Ubisoft Montreal. Ubisoft Montreal is the leading force behind Assassin's Creed, a major AAA series, right?
Uh-huh.
They just went out of business because they didn't make enough money off Assassin's Creed to stay in business. Because the used game market is slaughtering. I mean slaughtering video games.
What is
video
wrong?
game
I don't
developers.
see what's wrong with playing used games. I enjoy used games.
No, the used game market is slaughtering developers, though. Because for every sale that they make on a used game, every sale a used game makes, they lose 2 sales. They lose the sale of a new game and the sale of the used game.
Because
How?
Because the used game would have just gone in. The used game would have just gone in the bin, or just like being sitting on a shelf somewhere.
So think about if they get royalties, which is what this DRM will create. Basically, they'll be getting money back. They won't be getting like the full price of a new game, but they'll be getting money back every time the used game gets reactivated. And the whole borrowing games from sharing games with your friends, that actually hasn't been like, as far as I know, that has not actually been confirmed as to how that's going to work. And everyone's just freaking out because that's what they do. But
well, it was said after the conference on like Kotaku or something like that.
Oh, because you're gonna trust that. You're just gonna trust them and hope.
Just because it's the internet doesn't mean it's all untrustable.
So the idea is that. No, it isn't. But I'm not saying it is. Like I'm not saying it's all untrustable.
It practically feels like you are. It
No,
practically feels like you're saying anyone who goes on the internet and trusts anything is a dumb, and anyone who goes out and works a job for their game consoles is the smart guy who should be trusted.
Look, the used games are simply a good idea because,
without really thinking about the information, is a dumb. Who just goes and automatically thinks the first thing they think about something they see, and that's what they say and spew all over the internet, those people are stupid. And those people are fucking everywhere. And they're pissing me off.
I do agree with you in some ways, but I just generally don't like that at all.
What?
What DRM? No, just not at all.
I gotta try.
I like the ability to share my games with my friends.
You're still gonna be able to. That's the point.
Yeah,
is that
apart from the fact that I go, here you go, here's this game, and they put it in the disc, and then they have to pay a fee.
No, they aren't. It isn't necessarily going to be like that. We aren't 100% sure that that's how it's going to be.
Well, I suppose they've still
one of the theories I've heard is there's actually going to be guest passes, where if you're loaning a game to a friend, you can give it to them and they can activate a guest pass, which works for like 2 weeks. I've heard 1 week, I've heard 2 weeks, I've heard 3 weeks. I've heard up to a month, but I really doubt that they would have a guest pass that activates for a month. Because then somebody at a used game market could basically sell it and get just say that you have this for a month, and there could be a lot of black market stuff that happens with that, and developers get screwed again. But basically, GameStop is not worried about going out of business because of DRM. The president or CEO, whichever it is, that is the leader of GameStop. Settler, Infinity Slayer. The leader of GameStop has said specifically he is not worried about DRM. He is not worried about it putting them out of business. The CEO of GameStop, and I think CEO of another major one, has been working with Microsoft to figure this out, to make something that won't screw over gamers and won't screw over GameStop, and will help developers stay in business. Because that's the problem, is developers are getting pushed out of business by used game markets.
Now, do you know for a fact on paper that whole give it to a friend and they can play it for a week is true? Because that is
No, but then again, nobody knows on paper that giving it to a friend and then they have to pay a fee to use it is true either.
Well, either way is crap. Yeah. The whole I give it to you but you can only play it for a week is stupid.
No, but if it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks...
Well, okay. Any time. If it's a limited time, it's crap because
because that's because you should be giving because if you give away your game for more than a certain time,
you can only play it for a week.
No,
I don't
think about a month.
Completely kill the used game market, and
when do you loan your games to a friend for more than a month?
Like right now, I've had Dishonored for about 2 months from my friend Ricky.
Okay, see, at that point, they're basically saying, yeah, you should end up buying your own copy of the game, which is pretty much right at that point.
What about if a friend wants to give a game to another friend?
If he wants it back,
that's the one thing that we aren't... that's the one thing that's a little iffy right now.
Then they have to buy it again.
We're thinking probably yes, but you can't give games away. No, you have to sell them. Basically, by selling them, you're selling them as the DRM. Giving games away is going to end.
Buying a game for your friend? Nope.
Oh, buying a game for a friend is fine, as long as you don't play it first, because the code...
if you played a game and then thought, I don't really want this game anymore.
That happened to me plenty of times.
So I'm
sell it back.
I think it'd be
nice. Sell it back to the used game market.
Yeah, which is then dead simply because we're not allowed to have used games anymore because we'd have to pay fees.
What do you mean? The used game market is not going to die. That's why I just said GameStop is not worried about dying because of this.
Then they're obviously underestimating players because nobody's going to want to buy a game and pay an extra fee.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's the point, is that the fee's going to be absorbed by GameStop. They're going to lower the prices of used games to counteract the fact that you have to reinstate, or they're going to give you a code every time you buy a used game that'll replace buying a code yourself through the online market. Basically, either way, GameStop's going to end up absorbing the cost. And places like that are going to end up absorbing... They have to.
And you know that for sure, yeah?
That's how it... Right now, as of right now, that is what everything is saying that I've been reading. And I've been paying pretty close attention to this since it's so fucking big. Even though I tried to get out from underneath this whole fucking fight.
Mm-hmm. Well, you see, I still don't agree with you at all. It's not a good idea. Don't like DRM. It'll kill the used game market.
No, it won't.
All right, I gotta chime in again. SimCity is and Diablo 3 are my examples, not Diablo 3 because I don't know it. SimCity has DRM because nobody, pirating issues. That game is so hated because the servers keep crashing all the time, and it's just if they don't have the servers up and whatnot, you can't play it, and you can't play it easily without friends. It's so laggy with the connection of the whole.
Oh, here's another problem. If you
but that's servers for a PC game, right? That's servers for a PC game?
Yes, but
not Xbox Live servers.
Oh, it's totally different from whatever servers they're going to have from the consoles, because there's not going to have any servers. They're not going to have any servers.
What do you mean?
There's servers to handle online on games.
That's what Xbox Live is. That's the whole point. The Xbox Live Cloud Network is huge now.
Yeah, well, so is the one
Has
for...
massive amounts of processing power.
Yeah, well, so is the one for, like, all the PCs.
No. Microsoft's Xbox Live Cloud Network, they're fucking, they're calling it their cloud network, I think.
Not the only games that use the cloud.
No, they're calling theirs cloud, like, they don't mean it in the same way that other people mean cloud, which is probably what's confusing a lot of fucking people, is how they use the word cloud and how cloud is generally accepted to be is two different things, which I'm confused as to why they would do that and confuse people, unless they're trying to change what cloud is. But their server network is so powerful that pretty much the only people who have bigger server networks at this point are governments. Government agencies are pretty much the only places with more server power. They're like they are either the or one of the single biggest private corporation servers on Earth.
Mm-hmm. How many assassinations have I got this game? It's insane.
DRM will not kill the used game market. Microsoft and GameStop...
I say charging to play games will kill the used game market. That's what I say. Also, another thing, you have to check in every 24 hours.
That, again, is for DRM. That's for this. That's for this whole thing.
Yeah, but like, think about this, right? Say, you're just the average guy, you go to work. You come home, you find that some idiot has been drinking the previous night and crashed into the hub box for your local network. Now, your internet doesn't work. Your internet is down.
Okay, that happens once...
You can play your games. Or maybe...
That happens how often?
What?
How often does that happen?
It still happens.
It still happens. I mean,
yeah, so it's going to piss you off that one time that happens.
You can't say,
it
only
from the
happens
internet for a very long time.
Don't worry about it.
In the sense of, like, even some people don't even have, like, proper internet connections, you know? People actually have to get it installed.
99% of people have internet at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, well, still, regardless.
In the middle of the country that live in wheat farms?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wheat farms still have internet because they still have cable.
Is there internet as stable
still,
as cities?
See, the thing is, though, it's like say, you've got, considering you've got to check in every 24 hours, it's just an entirely stupid idea. It's monumentally stupid that you have to check in all the time just to say.
That's 4G.
Hey,
otherwise,
yeah,
DMR wouldn't work, or DRM. Fuck, why I keep saying DMR because we're on Halo. So
yeah.
I'm like DMR.
Well, I'm using the battle rifle. So.
Idiot right now.
All right.
No, DRM. Fuck. DRM.
Always
wouldn't
online.
work.
Just call it always online.
Yes.
Something.
DRM would not work without checking in every 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you could activate a game while being offline, and you
do know one other thing about DRM though as well, is it actually costs more for producers to put it in.
Developers,
like,
you mean?
Yeah, developers, producers.
It doesn't cost them that much more on top of compared to what they'll be making off of it, because now every used game they'll make money off of. The amount of money they'll be making off of the used game versus the amount of money.
So you're telling me every single game which is made with DRM is going to be successful and is going to make complete profit.
Every game every game for Xbox has to be made with DRM, from what I understand.
Yeah, which is going to add extra cost to it, isn't it?
Not much compared to the total cost
it will.
of
That's the
AAA
thing.
titles. No, not from what I've heard.
It will still cost.
Maybe the estimate. Yeah, not much though.
You're not going to. It's not going to be like $20.
No, I know.
It's still going to cost.
Compared to the amount of money they're losing off the used game market, trust me, they'll be happy to put it in.
Now, but indie developers don't really have a used game market because most of their stuff is online.
Right. How this is going to affect indie is actually going to be...
I'm saying in the sense of like they're producing a game, which they don't really have that much money because they're just an indie developer. This is their first one. They now have to add DRM to their game, which adds extra cost.
Well, then almost certainly all indie games are now going to be started on PC.
See, that's
pretty
the
much,
thing. It's going to hurt the indie game market as well.
it just means that they're all stuck to PC because nobody codes for PS3 or because PS3 is a fucking bitch to code for, and I'm betting
So
PS4
you see, the
as-
thing is though, is that it needs to be like, it's indie developers need support so we get the better games. You know.
I'm actually partially in defense with Wayne here. I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of indie development games on the Xbox compared to the PC, and there's so many more on the PC that are so much better
Oh, yeah.
than.
Yeah, I know
Limbo's
that,
like
because
one of the
it's easier
only
it's easier to make one on the PC simply because you don't make the game on the Xbox. You make it on the PC, then port it to the Xbox.
Right, exactly. So once they have the money from the PC sales, they'll be able to add in DRM when they port it into the Xbox. You're really over-worrying right now.
I'm not really over worrying. I'm just making another counterpoint against DRM, is that it adds extra cost onto, say, producers, where in, let's say, an indie market, it's they're quite tight on money.
I'm so
It just-
paying attention to this fight. I'm barely paying attention to our game. I should probably stop.
You guys should just when you're done.
I'm actually
on
more
there,
focusing on the game, to be honest.
Well,
Yeah,
that's because I've been talking more lately.
you guys should just like when the game's done, just back out to the lobby and continue the conversation.
Oh my god, I'm doing terrible. I also think it's because it's what time is it now, Mike?
1:13.
Yeah, it's also like after about 1 o'clock, I start doing terrible in general.
Well, it's like 6 in the
Nobody
morning.
take that kill. Really? Who just took that kill? Will.
I
Really?
didn't take any kill.
Really?
I didn't take that kill. I was dead at the time.
Okay, because I look over from where the grenade came from, and you're the only one standing there.
I was dead.
Okay, thank God. I was like, really? No, it's just... I don't get why people are so angry to have more from their game console. That's what it feels like. Is that
Because people
think-
don't want more from the game console. They want a video game console that focuses more on expanding video games rather than bringing all these new features in. And they don't like the restrictions of having to do all this. They don't want to have to do that.
Do they want game developers to go out of business? That's really the question they then have to ask. Do you want game developers to go out of business? If the answer is yes, and you just want the only game developers to be Call of Duty and Halo, then go ahead and don't put
What
in
if more
DRM.
people focus more on... People just buy it for TV and stuff. They buy it less for games. Wouldn't that, kind of not...
They aren't going to buy a $500 thing just for TV.
You literally said people are going to be more focused on that.
Well,
than
I'm saying that
games.
people... I'm saying because my mom wants... She likes playing games like Guitar Hero and whatnot, which they have on Xbox. If she has more of an incentive to buy a console for games and for TV... The idea is if the console can do multiple things, nobody's gonna buy this just because it's a Blu-ray player, and nobody's
People
buy this
are.
just because it can act like a TiVo. But if people buy it because it's a Blu-ray player, it's a TiVo, and it still plays their video games, then there's gonna be a ton of people who buy it because
Well, you
they
see, the thing is that they're trying to combine it all into one, exactly the name Xbox One.
want exactly.
I just don't see it happening. I see it being popular, but I see people still using the alternate ways. I mean, like, for me, my PC does everything I need it to, and then I've got a gaming console for when I can't be fucked.
Wait, well, I mean, there's still gonna be a shit ton of people on 360.
I mean,
So,
like, if I
to
want to
your
watch
argument,
any...
to your argument about the internet, so when the internet thing happens, right, that one time that it happens to like the 10% of the population that it actually happens to for like a month.
No, where
How
people's
many of those
internet,
people do you
people's
think are
internet
gonna-
goes down all the time.
Not
You
for
get
a
people
month,
with
long
internet-
time.
Hello.
No.
Example over here.
But yeah, Mike's internet went down for ages. So did my friend J-Malls. I mean, mine went...
Mike,
I
are
had
you
to
gonna
bring
sell
a
your
technician.
360 when you buy an Xbox One?
I'm not going to buy an Xbox One for ages.
No, but I'm saying when you buy your Xbox One, are you gonna sell your 360?
Yes, because the only time I'm going to get the Xbox One is when the Xbox 360 starts to... They just stop it.
You're still not gonna keep it to play the old games?
I'm not going to keep it to play any games if they cancel everything on it.
What do you mean? You mean the
When they pull a PS2, when they stop producing Xboxes, when I literally can't play Xbox anymore because there's no way to get another Xbox without paying thousands of dollars. Yes.
Oh, you're saying when yours breaks?
When mine is absolutely broken and there's no
Oh,
way
right,
to
when it's broken. Right, when yours is finally dead. But I'm saying you aren't going to sell it then because then it's going to be dead. So there wouldn't be anyone to sell it to because
I might move on to the next generation then.
It's got no backwards compatibility, so
neither does PS4.
I'm not making a point for PS4. Again, as I said, I'm just kind of making points in general against the Xbox One. Now, backwards compatibility, hence the reason we're going to have to keep original consoles to play, say, the massive pile of games we've collected over the past few years.
See, like, I specifically know when I get an Xbox One, even if I get it day one, if I don't get it for a year, right? I know I am never getting rid of my 360. I'm probably going to sell it at some point and buy a new 360 Slim, like as nice as one as I can possibly get for a decent price, so that then I can have it. The Slim is amazing. The Slim is so nice.
To be honest, I'm running on an Elite right now, so you know.
The Slim is nicer than the Elite.
I mean, I had the original, and then my original broke, so I got the Elite.
The Elite's still the same chassis, though, right?
Still the original.
Yeah, the original.
It's still the bigger. It's still the bigger one.
Yeah.
The Slim, basically, I got the Red Rings of Death 4 times in 3 years with the original 360, and then I got to the Slim, and I've never had the Red Rings of Death.
Well, I had. You see, the thing is, I had the Red Rings of Death, and after about 3 years, and then I just bought an Elite, and my Elite's running now, so there you are.
Yeah, my
and I got it when the Xbox came out, so.
My Slim's 3 years old, I think?
My Elite is pre-owned as well. I mean, when I first got it, I turned it on, it smelled like cigarettes.
All my consoles have been almost. I think all my consoles have been pre-owned.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think because GameStop. I was going to GameStop back when they were EB Games. Electronics Boutique. That was their original name before they got bought by GameStop.
Sounds pretty dumb.
What?
I prefer just EB instead of boutique.
Oh, no. It was Electronics Boutique, and then it turned into EB Games.
Oh.
And then it turned into GameStop. Well, actually, it was bought by GameStop, but what we had around here originally was Electronics Boutique.
Mandadale, right?
Yeah, we had one there. We had one in Carousel.
I remember one in
Where
Mandadale.
GameStop it was the one in... We actually used to have one out in Fayetteville, and then that one died.
I never been out there. I never been to the mall back then.
Oh,
I just remember the one in Mandadale.
Yeah, we used to have one in Mandadale. God damn. Pretty much almost every GameStop around here used to be an EB Games. Only like EB Games is only GameStop has only built like 2 buildings or 2 new short stops since they bought out EB Games.
Either way, right now, again, I'm still undecided. I'm not in a good mood with the Xbox at the current moment in time. I just want to.
Give it a little time.
I want to see all the details.
Yeah, get more information before you make reactions.
No, I mean, I get in the sense of I'm giving my current reaction at the current moment in time in light of the recent events.
Right, exactly.
All the recent information which I've got at the current moment in time. I mean, like, I'm not one of those people where once I've made a decision, I'll stick to that decision constantly. I mean, my decisions change depending on the amount of information I've received.
Oh no, seriously! My first reaction to the press release.
Yeah, TV.
My reaction to the press release, Mike can even tell you, I fucking hated it. Until I started getting more information from IGN and all those people who, do this for a living, and, they explain more about the game aspect of it and about, everything else. Until that, I really hated the Xbox One. I thought it was going to be terrible. So I've been where you've been, and I can see why you hate it and why you're nervous.
I don't hate it.
My uncle actually had
I'm
to help
just
talk me out of it.
not a fan of it at the current moment in time.
I was so nervous. My uncle actually had to help talk me out of being nervous because you just have to put faith in Microsoft. I guess that's really where it comes from. Microsoft has done so much for gamers. When the Xbox 360 first had the Red Rings of Death, and they had so many of them, and it's such a huge problem, Microsoft poured millions of dollars into fixing these consoles, into giving gifts to people who had longer waiting periods on their returns on their consoles than they should have because they had an overflow of problems that they didn't expect, into development to try and figure out what was causing all the different red rings, into extending warranties for people who had multiple. I got my warranty extended by a year because I had the red rings 4 times, and my console was pretty much almost not in my possession for like 8 or 9 months altogether in the 4 times that it had been shipped in. So I got my warranty extended for a year. And a lot of people have that same thing, even if they only send it in like twice. And they put a shit ton of money into developing the Slim as quickly as possible to fix the problems. Not just to put a new system out there, but to make sure that every problem that caused a red ring that they had figured out, and that they had developed a solution to it and fixed it in the Slim.
Well, to be honest, the red ring really hasn't been a thing. I mean, like back when PlayStation 3 came out, you remember the old arguments? PS3 had no games. If it, instead of getting the red rings, it just caught on fire. The Xbox was. Yeah, it got the red rings.
Yeah, I remember
it didn't have
all
a
that.
Blu-ray player, and it's like,
Yeah, I remember all that.
You look back and you're like, oh my god, did I really have those arguments? I mean, like right now, I can imagine about 7 years when they're releasing the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox
2.
Infinity.
Xbox.
Why not?
Actually, the Xbox Infinity might
Sounds pretty
actually
good,
be the
doesn't it?
next one.
It
I
sounds
was
pretty
actually
good,
kind of
doesn't
surprised that it wasn't this. That wasn't what this was. I was
it?
actually.
Xbox Infinity.
I was
That'd be
thinking
kind of
that might have been it. That would be an interesting name for their next one.
They should call it Durango.
That was the project code name for the Xbox One for the longest
You
time.
mean the Xbox Durango?
Yes, was the Durango. No, it was just Project Durango.
You mean the Xbox Durango?
They should have just called it the Durango.
The
Just
Durango.
got rid of the Xbox name. Just called it the Durango.
They should just make a new console. Like, it should just be a new console separate from all of them called the Durango.
for Sega Durangos.
Sega making a comeback.
Sega finally leaves Nintendo, and
Is E3 still going for like another day or two?
I think I haven't been following
The
E3.
last day, the super secret announcement, the new
Sega
Sega
New
console.
Sega Durango. Oh,
They released it.
my
It's
God.
everything everybody wants, and it just
it's
destroys
like $300. It's like $300. It has an 8-core processor. It has like 10 gigabytes of RAM. It has it has a Blu-ray player. It has all this shit.
Yeah, it doesn't have any DRMs. Doesn't have any. It doesn't have. It has online. You don't even have to pay.
It has
for
this. It has like this new higher resolution setting that only like certain TVs even know what to do with for all the friggin' really high tech guys. Has the most amazing controller anyone's ever seen.
Has that boomer
What has?
controller?
What was the most amazing controller?
You remember that
The Sega
boomerang
Durango.
controller? That was
Oh
supposed to be
yes!
the PS.
Oh my god! That boomerang controller, everyone was like, "What the fuck?"
I really want that as a controller.
Oh dear.
A boomerang controller would be kind of cool.
Everybody looked at it and just went, "No."
It'd be absolutely terrible, but it'd be fun.
I don't know. It kind of looked interesting.
It'd be absolutely garbage, but you'd love it.
Dude, I just got a gaming community